All right, people, there it is. I don't know what the heck is going on, but for some reason, uh, Adobe Express keeps exporting my thumbnails really low. Adobe Express keeps exporting my thumbnails. I have no idea really why it's doing that. It's driving me freaking insane. Hold on. No idea why it's doing and that. Then, Paul just noticed it. I didn't notice it last night when I did it. Anyway, we're square. All right, so today I wanted to jump in and talk to you guys about just like getting the brain ready to do stuff. You know what I mean? So, first of all, I had a question for you guys, real quick, off the top of the head, as I readjust some things on the screen here. So, in case we got to do some sharing, you guys don't have to see any of Paul's D pics. So when you are collecting your thoughts or ideas or concepts, where are you currently capturing them? Where are you keeping all of your daily thoughts? Are you just keeping them in your head? It's not, you won't be by yourself if you do it that way. A lot of people just simply keep it in their heads, which I found used to be semi-effective, I thought, but it's not effective at all. It's because there's so many times, like in the middle of class or stream or whatever, like where you're keeping it. So this is a little bit more than just doing your daily journaling. If you do that sort of thing. And if you don't, I highly recommend it. Daily journaling is massive. It really goes a long way to help you formulate some sense of sanity, right? I find daily journaling is actually extremely helpful. But, if that's not your steez, then yeah, I'm curious, like, what are you doing in order to sort of find the stuff that you're writing for yourself to keep track of yourself so you know what's going on. So you be like, hey, self, where did I do with all of this stuff? Luigi said he got a notebook on the desk. Paul is with me. Thoughts fall out of the head easily. I saw Aubrey. She said she keeps it in a video every day, which is actually a relatively dope way to do this. So for the longest time, I use an application called Day One. And you know what? It's a dope application. Like it really is. And I'm not going to stop using it because I still see lots of things that I can pull off using Day One that I think are, relatively handy for the way I do things. But I want to dive into doing it a little bit different. And so let me get this where I can see. All right, cool. So what I want to talk about is in the process of reading my new favorite books. Hold on, let me grab it. Yes. In the process of grabbing one of my new favorite books, this is The Para Method, and the original book that launches this book, which is Building a Second Brain, also by Tiago Forte, which I recently loaned out to Emma's mom, and she ain't gave it back yet. So I think at $15, I'm gonna just buy me a next one because it's gonna be a while, It's that happens. Sometimes you loan out a good book to somebody and it really, really hits them good, and then they really enjoy it. So then they just decide to keep it, and it's cool. I mean, you kind of think about that when you give them out. I also got because you guys know Katie, super organized. I got her a similar copy of the same thing, but anyway, this Building a Second Brain book has started me on this path of something that Tiago in the book calls making a commonplace book. In my Japanese history class, we have something that's known as a Zuihitsu, right? Or if you've seen the movie Pillow Book, or heard about Pillow Book, that's basically a movie based off of a Zuihitsu, right? So then, the modern terminology is just a PKM or personal knowledge management situation, right? So we're talking of a document that you use that basically keeps track of all of the thoughts you have, um, notes you might pick up. Paul says something cool, and rare, but it happens. Paul says something cool, and you think it's dope, so you want to remember it. Or, hey, I like that. I'm going to add my own spin to it, right? Here's a prime example. A couple weeks ago, you guys might have heard me bring this up. We were in class, and Alicia dropped a freaking bomb on the class, and we all just sat there like, and we're like, yo, I'm stealing it. And she said, we were talking about, like, I mean, this can apply to so many things. So in my particular case, I'll put it to, like, someone that just collects. This is a perfect example, actually. Someone who collects all this information about streaming, but then they don't really put it to any use, right? So you've been like collecting information about doing your content or doing your live streams or doing your writing your book or doing whatever. You've just been collecting, but you haven't written down word the first or created video the first. Alicia said, that's why it's called all you can eat, not all you can carry. So in other words, at some point, you have to digest all of the information that you're collecting. And I know for fact, absolute fact, that yesterday and day before yesterday, Alec did amazing streams talking about fixing your audio in Ecamm. And he went a wee bit deep on the subject, getting people where they needed to be. And I got a dime against two fat boys that most of y'all have already forgot everything he said. And just as many as forgotten what he said has not gone to their mixer or their Ecamm or their, USB mic or whatever and attempted to make a single one of the adjustments that he told you. So he gave the blueprint on how to get your audio together, but I guarantee you in that group, now our group's a little different, we're a little bit more active, but I guarantee you a large portion of the people in that group talking spicy, saying this is gold, oh, this is fantastic, but have not stepped foot back in their quote-unquote studio or their setup and touched a single bumbleclot knob, not a god knob, not one. And then next Monday, while I'm, lamping, having sake in Japan, they're going to be like, oh, my audio sucks. And they're in the group. Ecamm broke my thing, blah, 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 blah. So I know this because I get emails every week about how to do something in Ecamm that maybe I teach every damn Friday for 150 weeks solid. But they just they're not paying attention, right? And it's because it's Alicia didn't say this exactly, but, I agree with her. It's something about going around and collecting all the information and telling yourself that, this is overwhelming and blah, 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 and not putting anything into practice. So the ancient scholars in myriad cultures did something known as collecting a commonplace book, right? In Japan, they call it a Zuihitsu, right? And in the modern world, we call it a PKM, a personal knowledge management. This is a document that you can use to significantly boost your creativity. Why? Because you're going to collect these thoughts. You're going to collect them in a manner that you'll be able to put them to use when you're ready. When you're ready to flex it, you know exactly where it is. Now, I got a lot of people are doing it still with pencil and paper, and that's dope. I still take a metric ton of notes with my hands. But when you are not in your studio, Luis, and your notebook is not with you, Luis, where are you going to get the info then? So maybe he already transcribes it. But as you guys know, what I do with it. Hold on 1 second. I give you another example. Oh, reach. So this is my Rocket Books, right? And so with the Rocket Book, you can write all of these myriad crazy things down like such. This was actually my notes that when I was doing my mastering interview class, this was the original bare bones. And then scanning this QR code will suck this information in and store it in my system, right? So that's one way. Rocket Book's actually doper than the regular notebook because I can just take a picture of it. It'll automatically transcribe it into your notes app, right? So this is where the modern technology is taking this a step further. Okay, so actually, in order to make this make a lot of more sense, I'm going to pull up the document that I wrote for this. I actually wrote it in Notion. All right, now before anybody starts screaming and yelling, I must ask you guys, is it better for the visually missing folks in here? Is this going to be better in light mode or dark mode? Let me switch this real quick. Hold on. Boom. That's not right. Let's give it that. And wow. Why you doing that to we? All right. Chrome is being stupid. Let me pop this here and then put that up there. And let's see what it do. Yes. And then there we go. All right. So for those of you guys who have a hard time seeing, let me know if this is going to be better for you in light mode or dark mode because I can switch it. I personally am a dark mode king. That's where I live. But, you know, for some of you guys that, you know, have a hard time seeing, I want to make sure you see this. If not, I can send it to you. You don't have to you don't have to sweat, right? So anyway, the terminologies I spoke about earlier, right? The Commonplace Book, the Zuihitsu, the PKM, that's all right here. And again, these are structured platforms that allow you to just jot down your thoughts, your ideas, your observations throughout the day, right? And it kind of serves as a repository of all things dope so that way you can find your stuff when you're absolutely ready to find it. Right? Because what happens is we write down all of these things, but then when it becomes time to get down, you ain't really got it. You know what I mean? So again, here's a brief explanation. I wrote this down. Kevin, you know it. You know what it is, little. You know what it is. Your man is definitely Nosferatu. This is 100% true. All right, so a curated collection of quotes, thoughts, and ideas that resonate with you. Zuihitsu is a Japanese literature theme consisting of loosely connected personal essays and fragmented ideas. Like you could literally just have a crazy idea that says, I'll be Dina for a second, that says, I wonder what would happen if you were to take jalapenos and roast them out and crush them like into a dry powder and mix it with mayonnaise and add a little smidgen of like cumin and garlic. Like, how would that taste as a sauce for a chicken or something, right? So she don't know, right? She has no recipe yet. Just an idea that popped in her head, and I don't know if that tastes good. I just said that. I hope Dina don't listen to this later and be like, "Dude, what are you high?" Yes. Anyway, so that's what that means by like collecting these fragmented ideas, right? And then PKM, I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, but yeah, that's the same thing. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about this enhanced creativity. Like, this is a known fact. Regularly jotting down your thoughts can stimulate this creative thinking. This practice encourages you to step out your conventional thought programs and look for some different angles. And over time, this mental flexibility can lead to more innovative solution. So this is on this concept of like brainstorming. Like, I think one of the most biggest thing creators struggle with is getting it all out of your head. And I swear, dime against two fat boys, I am not the only one. The best ideas come when your arm Schwarzenegger like a whipping, right? You just, you're like bobbing down the back streets, idea comes to you, and you're like, frick, I'm in the car. Sometimes a dope idea will come to you when somebody is talking and you don't have a place to like scribble that down, right? Dude, my handwriting is not that dope, Rich, and it works. Like, hold on. I was going to say, I know you done seen it, bro. Dude, this is not that great. Wait, let me get it here. It's not that great, but it understands this. But, hey, when this came out, you know what we didn't have? I'll show you. Okay, so we didn't have good text-to-speech situation at the time, and now we do. So yeah, when I did the original of this, the text-to-speech was still a little faulty. Now the text-to-speech is dope, right? So, yeah. Here it is. I'll explain. I'll do a demo in a second that explains, to Rich's point, how to do this if you got that squirrely girl handwriting. Hey, I feel you. I feel you. Right? My handwriting looked like an EKG. You know, when I was in the Army, yo, when we used to make soap notes, one of my PRNs used to say that about me. Like, dude, your handwriting looked like an EKG. All right. So again, just getting this out of your head sometimes will move this joint down and it'll let your brain function just a wee bit better. All right, so in the next one, this will spark some of this intellectual growth, right? The reason why the scholars all wrote these commonplace books, and some people, Darwin, we found out so much stuff about what was going on in that dude's head when his commonplace books got found and published, right? The most famous Zuihitsu is the Pillow Book, right? The Pillow Book, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you read it, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like essays, poems, thoughts, like all kind of craziness that just come in the head. Oh God, Shaka, I can't help you with that, bro. For that, you need to get Montana 94 can and just rattle up a big wall and take a picture of it, I reckon. Anyway, so this is where you just keep all this stuff down in the manner that you can find it when you're looking for it, right? And one of the other things that's really key when these guys used to write these books is this part right here where it talks about the iterative process of revisiting and refining it so you can get down to deeper thoughts, right? And let's say, so you're Michelle and you have this idea on making your mark, right? And she's already come down to these dope like words, what they all mean. But something might happen in pop culture or whatever that really nails the MARK on exactly how she wants it. So you want to go in and say, listen, I want to show how this new movie, say it's there's a new documentary on the ladies of hip hop, right? That's on Netflix. So she might watch that and then be like, okay, listen, there is key examples in the rise of Dana, Queen Latifah, that matches what I talk about in my things. So I can build a whole video or talk or concept around this. And then so you're going to go in and you're going to refine the mark idea is set in stone, but you're going to refine that as it aligns to this, right? Oftentimes I see a dope piece of work. Like the other day, I posted it on my Instagram. It might still be there because it was yesterday, I believe. Nikki, homegirl, love her to death. You know, everybody know Nikki, right? She is the queen of. That didn't work. That didn't work. I can't find my air horn. Oh, why can't I find my air horn? There it is. There it is. There, I found it. She's the queen of that, right? She had this fantastic talk talking about what would you do if you got forced to create something at like 3:40 in the morning, still got the coal in your eyes, half asleep, you popped up, basically life or death situation, you're told you have to create something right now. What would you create? Would it be a video? Would it be audio? Would it be writing? Would it be a picture? Whatever. And then she had everybody in the audience yell out what it is they want. And she says, well, how come you're not doing that? In other words, if that's the first thing that comes to your mind when you're forced to create something, that is your lane, if you will. And like, why couldn't you just crank this out every day? Like if you're told that you could do something in a life or death situation, would you be able to do it? And most people say, yeah. Then you ask, why don't they do that all the time? And that was a brilliant how she set that up, right? So you might want to, say Michelle wants to build a conversation around that. She's going to take that and refine that to make it match her mark. So this is where this comes in. Oh yes, dude, 100%. That was like way back when we first set the studio up. Bam. That stream again, fantastic. And Paul did put the link in if you didn't catch it. But yeah, it's up in there. It's actually pretty dope. What's up, brother? This is funny. I used to love those when I was a kid, and we used to watch SNL, and they'd be like Deep Thoughts by Jack Hannity. Like those are the bomb. Dang, June, you bringing back the flashes. Okay, so now we got this stuff. We're writing it down. This has been proven over and over again. The more I research into this, the more I talk about this, definitely it does improve your focus. Like writing it down and going further and deeper into the situation definitely improves your focus. And in a way, this alone, like say, you're not into, doing the woo-sah and crossing your legs and umming and ahhing and, getting into your chakras aligned. Sometimes just writing the thoughts in your head and then whittling them down to cleaner thoughts, that alone will really help out your mental fitness. I don't like to say mental health. It's just it makes it sound like something that you can't get to without certain set of skills or equipment or whatever. But you can work on your mental fitness all the time. And a lot of times literally just sitting down and writing it, getting these thoughts out of your head. Like I like to hit my journals right before I go to sleep. It just works. It's a good way to reflect on your day. As we say here at Long's Drugstore, make Long's a part of your day. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so actually the funny thing is I actually wrote this. See, I'm skipping ahead of my own notes. The next thing I wrote is that it really does help with your emotional well-being, right? So keeping a commonplace book serves as a form of emotional and intellectual self-care. Writing your thoughts down can be therapeutic and also can help you learn how to speak like a freaking human being. Right? So, but the number one stunner for me, this is where it all lives, is it gives you a resource to come back for your future projects and build off of this gold mine of knowledge that you're keeping on, right? So I wrote down some useful apps. I put Notion first because that's where my head's at right now. But honestly, everybody got Apple Notes. You probably already there. Luis is kind of sort of, in the Apple Notes swag. The dope part about Notion is it's a little bit easier to keep certain types of digital stuff in here, which I'll show you in a second, right? Notion offers a little bit more structure, and it's a good way to sort of manage your knowledge for whatever you put in. Apple Notes is dope because everybody got it. It's free. It's simple note taking. You already have it. It's in your computer. It's in your phone. It's in your iPad. It's all set up, and so it's dope. And again, I used to use hit the lick button, ref. That's funny. I used to use Day One a lot. I still use it for just journaling, but I don't store as much stuff in there for fear of not being able to get it out as easy, which was a problem with Evernote. I looked at my old Evernote notebooks the other day, and there's so much stuff in there, and it's a pain. It's a pain in the butt to get things out. So I gotta like work on getting it out of there. And then I showed you guys Glass before. We'll show you that again. And then there's Readwise, which I also have, which I'll show you in a second on how to get it. So that's the basic concepts of doing this. So what we're going to do right here is go back. Let's just make a brand new note. So we're going to hit a new tab. And actually, I want a brand new note. Let me hit Command N. And then we're going to do this. What is today's date? It doesn't transfer. There we go. I don't really like that way. Let's do it this way. Nine. So you can do it this way if you want. You can name it whatever you want. You can name it whatever was the key highlight for today. Whatever. It's completely up to you, right? So I'm gonna just start with an empty page. Okay. So today, let me scroll through the comments and see if anybody says something dope that really like rock my word. Okay, so here's a good one. Rich said, my problem with taking notes is acting on notes. All right, so here's a good example. I can take this comment from Rich. I'm gonna copy it for a second, but then also I'm gonna show you why Notion is dope. You can do some of this in Apple Notes, but we're gonna use Notion for this particular case. I'm going to pull this here where I can see. So I'm gonna drop on and I'm gonna paste in that line, right? Okay, as you guys know, your man has dyslexic fingers, but I do know how to type a little bit, but not that good. All right, so you can just put that in there. Now, so let's say I wanted to go hit the web and find a note that would trigger something for that, right? So let me duplicate this browser scene real quick. Hold on. Duplicate. All right. I'm going to hit this. Go to the Chrome. All right. So I'm going to hit this and say, the new, like these guys really do. Actually, Tiago talks about this in the book a little bit, Rich. This person wrote abbreviate, reduce, and simplify. Tiago calls it code, is capture, organize, distill, and express. So you got the capture part down. You might have the organization part down, but where you're struggling, Rich, is the distillation and the expression. So similar things. Let's do this. Boom, boom. So this was a really good video about it. And if you like really wanted to dig deeper into that situation, right? Say we're doing this research here. Let's pop over to YouTube real quick. We're doing this research. Tell this dude to shut up. And then like, vidIQ, go away for a second. Boop. All right, this is Mariana Vieira. She has a different type of system on it. But I don't want to dive into this right now because I'm going to get lost. But I want to know what she says because I know she's a pretty good note-taking person. So check this out. You click on this video because here's what we all do. We make this giant list of crap for the watch later. But we don't actually watch later. So come back to Notion. And again, this will work in Apple Notes. And Notion is free, but I have a paid version, but it doesn't matter. You can use the free version to do exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to paste in this, and I'm going to do embed video. All right, so just put that there in my concepts, right? And then, when I get ready to sit down, I got a couple minutes, stuck in the airport, got a delayed flight. I say, you know what? I want to get into this video that Rich got me started on, right? So let's hit that. Let's go back over here to my old YouTube joint. And then let's do this because I want to make sure that we know what it is for everybody who's not there, who's not fully versed in the code system. There's the video where he was talking with Scott Young about. It's really short, right? Here's building the second brain and organizing your thoughts. That's the whole video. Actually, this is a good place to start if you don't want to read the book. But trust me, you get far more information out of the book. So I could take that, drop it. Oh, sorry. You guys weren't watching me be in the browser mode. So we're going to come here. And then Michelle is stealing my next point, so I love her. Let's show you what this is about. All right, so I got these two. Now, I'm going to pip back over to the browser real quick, and then I'm going to take you to what Michelle is speaking on. So let's do... All right, so let's do that. Boom. So now I got Forte Labs. Here's this 4 levels of personal knowledge management again. Right? So here it is. So I'm reading through this, and we want to get to the part where he's talking about code. So if I got my glass situation turned on, I just want to highlight this section right here, right? And I'm going to put Richard's Dallas fan. So we're going to put this on blue, right? So that way I have it. Here it is. Now, here's where everybody screws this up. Like legit, everybody screws this up. You just capture the note, right? And you don't want to just capture the note. Like that part is too easy and it ain't what you want to do. What you want to do is add a tiny little bit of your own sauce. It will stick in your meals a heck of a lot better if you drip that personal gravy on the nugget. Those of you guys who just, oh, that was dope, and you don't add your spin, it won't make any sense, right? So, like, yes, you can ignore everything I say and just go straight to Tiago Forte, but I'm teaching you with a little bit of my juice on it because it'll make more sense, right, to me. And I figure because you guys know me, you can relate to it better. We don't know Tiago. I could have learned all of this stuff I'm learning from Tiago from Michelle, but Michelle would have told me with a Trinidadian Hotlanta twang, and I would understand it probably better than some weird, pasty Elon Musk looking dude. Okay. All right, so what I wrote in my little note, it might be hard to read, right, is code is a dope system that makes sure what you learn sticks. It requires some action. Moving the hand for real makes you grok the concepts. So what that says in my weird writing, which I will understand, when You guys all been to these classes like science or whatever when we was in school, and the teacher could tell you all kind of crazy stuff and didn't make any sense. But when you got to the lab table and you started like, cutting frogs or doing whatever you were doing, it made more sense when you're actually doing it, right? When someone's telling you like how to get a smooth bechamel, you made some lumpy bechamels in the beginning because just reading it doesn't work. Like you have to actually do in order to get with it, right? There's some kids out here now that you might have known in your past, in your college days or whatever, that sneak it in the back room. Back then we had VHS, but they watched all kind of mad porn, thought for sure that the first time they hit some sheets, they was going to drill it. And they was like, oh, that didn't work because you can't learn that looking at the videos, fam. You're going to have to actually gyrate a few hips in order to, curl some toes. It's simple. Like, so you just can't learn these things in the book. So it's the same thing. In order to get this information where it works for you, I have weird analogies, deal with it. In order to get this information to work for you, you got to lock it in. So what GLASP does, and this is what Michelle's talking about. Let me pop back over here. This application that I'm using is called GLASP. It's a Chrome plugin. Here's what GLASP is super sick. Look, I can go to this video right here from Tiago, and GLASP has a plugin that will transcribe this here video, right? It's already transcriptionated, and I can either make an AI summary, right? I could jump to a particular time on this particular note, right? I can copy the transcript in plain text. But what I'm going to do is hit make an AI summary. So it's going to pull up Chad, right? And then GLASP just grabbed everything that was in that video, and it's going to pull out these 5 major bullet points from that video. And well, sometimes Chad get things wrong. Cool. This is just a basic outline, right? I don't need Chad to be perfect on this. All I want to do is copy that, jump back over to Notion, because again, I'm just collecting concepts at this moment in time, right? So I can come here and paste it in, right? Now it's in there like swimwear. Now, what I want to do is I want to make sure that this one sticks a little bit bigger in the head, right? So, I got it bolded there. I might hit a little under lizzle, right? You can link it to something else. I'm going to color this particular box. I'm sticking to my theme. I'm going to color it blue so that way I can see where that is. And really weird, the formatting broke my numbers, but Notion automatically fixes it. And so simple as pie. Now, again, I want to know that I got these notes right here from the video, and I'm just going to make a little block. All right, so you just got that, and then I can hit on that, right? Again, I might want to color it just so I know that it's a thing. Boom, in there. So Notion makes this easy. Again, I'm literally this is my note for today, right? This is literally just my note for today. And and Andrew, 100%. So one of the points of this particular conversation is that you could do this in Apple Notes. Apple has a dope new app called Free Flow. You could do this. I'm just using Notion right now. I started in ClickUp. I gave ClickUp the finger. I went back to Notion. Why? I don't know. I like ClickUp. It's not wrong. It's not bad. It's dope. But I just, bam. Some people like cream in their coffee. Some people like it black. I'm going to say Notion and ClickUp are very similar. They probably each have one thing the other one doesn't do, but for the most part, if you took a list and you wrote down 250 features, they both have like 248 of the same. So pick one. Yeah, and just knock yourself out. ClickUp also free. Notion is free. Obsidian is supposedly the best. And so forth. Yep, Michelle, come with it. Michelle, actually, I want to see you show me how to do the exact same thing in Trello in the video tomorrow, except for I'll be in the plane. because I think people need to find the one that matches them, find the creator that teaches with it, and just know that you could do this in any one of these systems. Back in the day, we did it with index freaking cards in a notebook. And to Andrew's point, let me pop here. Okay, so when I click on this box, I can hit slab, right? Actually, I want to be like, I spelled his name wrong. I don't think that matters. But if I highlight this, I can just do that. You know what I'm saying? And then what I should have did was copy this. So yes, there it is. Potential topics for a video about Tiago Forte's code system would include an overview of the code system and its benefits, how to implement the code system in your personal and professional life, tips and tricks for using the code system effectively, case studies of individuals or businesses that have successfully implemented the code system. Yes, I can't read without more coffee. Common misconceptions about the code system and how to overcome them. See what I'm saying? So you can do all of that stuff. I could come in here. I can tell it continue writing, make this situation longer, so forth, so on, etc. But again, I don't want to scare you with that because you can do all of the same things in chat and copy and paste to your heart's content, right? Hey, what is up? What is up, Kills? Okay, so now going back to this original concept that came to my mind because of a comment on a video that Rich made. So now I can give myself a personal note. I can go get a couple things for me to come back and research later. Here's the dope part. I am let's come here. I am a YouTube premium subscriber. So I'm looking for my phone. It's right here on the desk. Y'all can see the new, wait, don't do this. Go back. Now it's trying to wake up because it saw my face. Damn it. iOS 17, the new sideways joint is phenomenal. Come on. Stop looking at my face and just turn back on. You're making a liar out of me. No. I guess because it recognizes the motion, it doesn't know that I'm standing still yet. But the accelerometer is probably moving. When it's sideways, it has this dope thing. It's super crazy. Anyway, so I'm going to go over to this YouTube video situation here. And then I'm going to pull back up that talk. Right? So let me put it here. There's the video that I have in my notes. If I scroll this over just a wee bit, there's a download button, so I can hit download, right? When I'm in the Plizane, I can do that. Now, here's Obsidian, one of the other apps that does this, right? I got that. So it gave me this personalized playlist of all these videos that talk about this. I know I got a kind of a lengthy flight coming through, so I could just find some of the ones that I'm going to want to see, right? And so here's a cool one talking about using the Notion AI because I haven't really messed with it too much other than what you just did today. What you just saw me do right now, that was the first time I pressed AI in Notion because I just used ChatGPT. But I'm going to scroll this over. I'm going to hit that download. Now, the other thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make a copy of that. Copy this link, and I'm going to add it to this list because it's going to be part of my doing the research for this video that we're talking about, right? So now up here in my concept situation, I'm going to throw this just above old girl here. Actually, here's what's cool. Listen, I could actually get away. I can make me a new block. Let's do, I want to do web for this one. There you go. There's a web bookmark. So I can paste in a web bookmark. It's going to generate that for me. Right? All done. All right, that's cool. So here's my web bookmark. I want to take the web bookmark and I'm going to pick it up a little bit higher. And I'm going to drop it right betwixt these two. Now, again, so it's all in there. So the point is, this was just that one particular thing. We're going to stop talking about what Rich said at this point and do something else. So now, in the middle of this, I haven't thought that comes to my head that says I need to buy. What do I need to buy? I need to buy a new stainless steel skillet, right? So I can switch gears because this note is just for today. This is not this note for one thing, right? So if I come back here and I say, actually, I take that back. No. All right, there we go. So now, watch this. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to go to the next part of this situation because we're here. We all friends. All right. Go to my next tool. Again, Paul, can you drop in a docrock.live/pen? I'm really processing this idea of wanting to look at getting carbon steel frying pan. I have stainless steel, I have cast iron, but the more and more I dig into the benefits of carbon steel skillet, actually more than the frying pan, something with a little bit lower sides. I'm not going to boil anything in oil or anything. I'm legit just going to use this for steaks, fish, chicken. Carbon steel is lighter, not as heavy as a cast iron, holds the temperature just as well, and with the proper setup can become nonstick. So go back in and check out this video from America's Text Kitchen that you saw on the subject, and don't forget to go to YouTube and collect some of the latest recommendations. And yeah, let's just look into getting a carbon steel skillet, but I also probably want to make some content around picking a carbon steel skillet and why carbon steel skillet is as good as or better than cast iron and or stainless, and how also there's a concept of carbon steel skillet is more healthy than a TFE or PTFE coated Teflon nonstick pan that you buy from Walmart. So let's get into that. Make this research start, and don't forget to call Dina and ask her for her recommendations because she's smarter than you on the subject. Boom. Yes, Michelle, that is the key. You got to capture the link that sparked the idea, because if you don't, and see, here's the thing. Here, let me step to this real quick. I'll come back and grab this. The reason why I like the way that it looks in Notion is having the web preview, and Apple Notes is adding this. Having the preview helps. When you look at a note with just a dry link, it just doesn't spark the same joy, Marie Kondo. It doesn't spark, her name is not Marie, it's Marie. Yeah, it doesn't spark the same joy. So I agree with Michelle. Definitely, if you have something that will give you the visuals, by all means, do that, because it will help your brain connect quicker. So I go back to my audio pen. This is exactly, it just took my note and it made it a little bit more, I don't know, simple. So I can just copy that, right? I can dip back over to the Nishan, scroll down to the bottom of this note, and then just paste it in here. Bam. So now that's all in there. That's absolute gravy. Again, I like to separate these just for my own eyeball sake. Let's use pink. All right. Boom. That's it. Right. Now, let's say I jumped over to the Webby Web and I saw a dope carbon steel pen. Bestis. And Epicurious. Actually, I saw it on America's Test Kitchen, but I trust Epi. Oh, damn, that joint looks sexy. So I don't want to read this right now. I just can copy this. Now, there is a Chrome plugin for send it to Notion, but let's just do myself a favor real quick. I'm going to copy that link. I need that. But then here's a table of content, and here's some information about carbon steel versus cast iron. So again, I could come here to glass and make myself a note. In this particular case, I'll use red, right? And I could store this note in my glass situation. I could also put this in another program called Readwise, or I could just have it here. Next time I come to this page, I don't have to copy this note into my Notion because I don't want to make this document long, but that will show up when I come back to this page. So now that I have this, I can just dip back over to Notion real fast. And man, if they had this joint when I was in school, fam, you don't even understand. I would have kicked more ass. I was already president of my honor society, but shit, I would have been higher than higher. I'd have been in the firstest place. All right, so again, just a thought that came into my head, right? Now, somebody tell me right now, what's a dope book or movie that you are collecting? What do you got? Show me right now, what is the dopest thing to watch? What are you doing? Okay, again, this is just a document. You can leave this open and you have it sitting on the side of your computer, right? A stream comes up, boom, you write something down. Keely might have Keely popping up talking about the Tesla charger might have triggered a thought. It did actually, because I was tasked. This is funny. I was tasked about 2 weeks ago to start collecting information on putting a battery in the back of the house, because at Papa's house we got like 64 solar panels, and we're producing more energy than we use. And the electric company is going to stop doing buybacks because they're losing money on it. That's not. They won't tell you that's why, but that's what it is. So they're going to stop doing buybacks. So right now, for a house with full ass AC, this is the tropics. AC runs all the time, and Eminem living in there, or whatever. Like they all start to build up, right? So I've been doing some search of batteries. I was looking at Tesla or Sony because my brother wants me to buy some from Costco. Knowing good and well, we're born and raised on Sony. But let me look and see what this is. Let me copy this. So I'm going to hit edit text. Actually, if something comes up in the stream and you want to copy, let me show you how to do that real quick, because it's not logical. All right, so blood clot. This is my Ecamm joint. So I'm going to click on June's comment and then hit the pencil, hit edit text, bam, copy. Look, that's simple. Or I can do what I did on Rich's one, hit edit text, right? And then grab my little screen shooter tool. And I'll talk more about my screenshot tool in a different video, but there's my screenshot tool, right? So now I can drag this. I'm going to leave it there for a second. And I'm going to flip the script back over here to Notion. I'm going to leave it in this particular view. That's the wrong one. This view is going to be as tight, but you'll understand in a second. All right. So look, all I'm going to do is take this icon right here, which is the drag. I'm going to drag June's, bam, right there. That simple. right? This is how you collect. So again, the app that I use is called Shotter. Shotter is dope. I have to make a whole video about this. Shotter is dope, but just being able to replace my standard clipboard with a doper clipboard, I have it. I can add something to it. Look, I might want to come and redact this individual because he's a dick, and he's gone. You know what I'm saying? I can just erase June completely from the screenshot. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a dope app, right? It's a legit dope app. So again, that's just a quick note. And again, I'm waiting for you guys. What is a book or a movie that you're into that I should probably check out? Thank you, Rich. You know, I can't redact my little bro. June, we're flying out tomorrow morning. I'm gonna leave the house at about 11. So you're responsible for the office, and I have inventoried all of my mixers over here. I've inventoried all my new gear. That shit better not be missing when I get back. Oh, good one. I actually saw this, but this is a good one to come back to anyway because it just has, you know, so much good conversations to be had about this particular flick. Man, I love that movie. Arbor, you know I read that one already. That is my version of the Bible. Everything will be back right where it was before it comes back. Oh, Paul, thank you, Paul. You just reminded me something too. I'm going to show you guys another trick. Let me dip back over to this particular video. So I go back to my quick Notion right here, and then boom, I can go. I'm gonna do this as an H2. All right, so I like this. Watch this trick right here. I'm gonna highlight this, and I'm gonna make a copy, right? I'm going to open up an application I have on my computer called Text Expander, and I'm going to create a new snippet. I'm going to paste that in. I'm going to give it an abbreviation of comma TWR, right? And then I'm going to close. So now, back in Notion, tomorrow when I'm making this note, all I have to do is go bam, H2, enter, comma, TWR, bam, and it rewrites it for me. So for the type of headers you're going to use over and over again, make yourself a snippet. You don't have Text Expander, use the built-in keyboard expander that's inside macOS. If you need to know how to do that, then you're going to have to come to my macOS for Creators class coming up in soon. All right, anyway, so I want to put in Severance, right? Because Rich has that there. Somebody else, Aubrey said Marcus Aurelius, one of my favorite books, by the way. Keep it hands down. So let me just put this right here. All right. So they already know that I already watched it, but let's just say I wanted to grab a clip from a video because Paul just brought this up. This is something that I guarantee you not enough people use. Because, Rich, I wanted to say end of September, but I might have to move it because I might have to go to California to hang out with our friend. So that's why I might have to move it. And it will not be, it'll be fantastic for me. I'm sorry for you guys, but it might happen. Anyway, so let me jump back over to the browsy browse. And I'm going to go here. And then let's do. Look, I wanted to get to this very beginning. Oh, that's not the one. That's not the one. So we was here, right? I'm keeping it muted so it doesn't come. But here's the story right here. So let's just say I'm going to start here right when the video switches. All you got to do, open this bad boy, hit clip, right? I only need this small little bitty section right here to make it make sense, right? And then I'm going to be like, bam. And then I'm going to hit share the clip. And then I can take a copy of full embed, or I can just hit copy because Notion has auto embedder, right? So then I'm going to stop that bald guy from talking, pick back over to Notion, come over here, and right here, just pasty paste, and then embed. So no more trying to remember where you at, right? That is the clip. Like, it looks like it's the whole video, but that will be just that one particular the piece. Bought it up. Yes, that'll be that one particular clip. But I'm just saying, it's so easy to like grab a situation. Now, this is dope, and I swear I haven't really used it because nobody else is using it with me. But this is a cool situation that's very similar to that. Let me go here. This is an app called Air, and it doesn't really show you how dope it is here, but they killed it. That's why it kind of faded. Air was dope application. What it was for is to basically find segments of your podcast that you want to build a social sharing around and keep it. So now you want to save this to something like Glass, but Air would keep snippets of a podcast that you can share with somebody, and you guys could conversate back and forth about that particular piece. So it looks like they didn't survive the Demi, but all good in the hood. There's Glass, and the last one I want to show you real quick is Readwise. Readwise, again, they got a basic tier, got a paid tier, whatever. But if you're collecting similar to Glass is dope because it's just free right now. It's in beta, but it is going to come out. Glass did just come out with a test flight version of their iOS app. Readwise is the OG, been on the block forever, but it can import your highlights, right? It can, you forgot the URL, Paul, sorry. You can review, you can remember, you can do all of that, right? And then so you can pull things in from your Kindle. This is the reason why I like Readwise. So if I were to highlight something inside the Kindle and go to the bibliothèque, and I'm going to highlight a section in the bibliothèque, right? So on the Kindle, if I highlight this particular section, right, it's going to remember the highlights. If I make a note about it, you know, what I wanted to keep, it's going to remember that highlight, and it's going to send it to the Readwise app already. So, you know, again, one thing that's cool about Kindle, when you make a highlight in a particular portion, you can leave yourself a note. And then save it. And then now you see you got a highlighted note. Readwise syncs with your Kindle notes, and it will bring it to the Readwise app. From the Readwise app, you can make it automatically flow with like Make or Zapier or something like that. You can make it automatically flow back into your Notion thing. So again, if you read on the Kindle, cool. If you read just on the web, like say you search the web, this could do similar to what Glass does. This is older, been around. It's a little bit deeper in the pocket, but I picked Glass for most people because I love the capture of video information. And for right now, it's free until Kazuki figures out what he's going to charge. But yes, Readwise is dope. It's cheap though. Let me tell you what it come out to for like a whole year. And they added a new joint called Readwise Reader. Where's the pricing? I hate all the sites now love to hide their pricing. It's $8 a month. If you bill it for like a year, if you don't bill it for like a year, it's $9 a month. Ooh, you save $1. Right? This will be on the test. Exactly, Michelle. Exactly. So the idea is just for every day, create a living document. Now, when you find things that stick, you can pick them up and move them into a deeper document. You can pick them up and move them into a document where you know, like, fam, I'm going to use this a lot, right? Did it stick? There it is. That's the new iOS 17. Like, boom, I got some reminders and, say I already did this. I cleaned the lens. I can hit that and just go. Isn't that cool? Anyway, you just, again, Apple Notes works. Transcribing it into audio pen works. Transcribing it into Otter. Say you had a Zoom meeting and you got your transcription. You highlight the points of the transcriptions, copy and paste that and keep it in that daily note. You could find out what you did like 6 months ago by coming back to this particular note. Now, still, you journal, knock yourself out. You gratitude journal, knock yourself out, right? All the same, but I highly suggest you have a text document that you open. Apple Notes, Text Expander, Pages, Word, Google Doc, whatever. Just open it up, and as things come throughout the day, clip, paste, add a little sauce, right? Clip, paste, add a little sauce. Clip, paste, add a little sauce. If you do this, I guarantee you, you will just hit sections of your brain you ain't used in years. Even if you have dents, you will hit sections in your brain that you forgot was in there. Nothing better, right? Now, harder to do when you're watching TV with the fam. But if you're watching TV by yourself and you see something and it sparks a joy, it sparks an interest, it sparks something, man, press pause on the DVR and just give yourself a quick note. Make a little audio note. People used to carry on that. If you don't like doing it on your phone, you can pick up one of those Olympus or Roland's or whatever for like sub $50 now. Just like, hey, captain's log, start date 29/17. Whatever. There's something on the wing. Something. Hey, anyway, Glenda said, wondering if iPad or Kindle would be more helpful for me to see the large text. So I can read it on you can do it in the iPad. Kindle works everywhere now. You can do it directly on your computer. You don't have to go buy a physical Kindle. I like the physical Kindle because I'm in the plane all the time. And you know what? I've had this is crazy, right? I've had this new Kindle for a little about a year, and I swear to you, I think I charged it like 6 times in a year. The battery life on this bitch is like 3 months. So that's why I like the Kindle. And you can make it like, you can actually come in here and put it in Glendivision if you want. You can put it in like enormous text. So they have a bunch of opportunities for that. The thing that's good about this, there's an accessibility mode. And then you could voice the screen reader if you want. You can provide spoken feedback when you touch on items. You can invert to black and white. You can zoom the letters into like the hugest size. You can hugify everything. What's cool about Kindle, I don't know, it's kind of like highlighting stuff in your books. But now here's what's freaking phenomenal. I didn't even show you this part. Let's just do this, right? I'm going to pick a random ass chapter out of this book. Here, there is a little thing right there. It says event projects, quarterly staff retreat, annual share taker stakeholder conference. Anyway, check this out. Grab this phone. Boom. Go to here. Make a photo. Okay. Now, I'll pull it up right there. I can tap on it. Hit the little copy block. There it is, all highlighted. Highlight the parts that I want. Hit copy all. It's all copied. I can run right back over to my system here in Notion. I'm not going to keep this, but I can just show you. I can come down in here and be like, oi. My phone is not on the same network as my computer at the moment, but you can copy and paste it from the phone to the computer. Just simple as that. So, yeah, sorry, I'm on the wrong network. I'm not going to fix it right now. I purposely do that so that I purposely connect to the other network so that my phone doesn't start doing stuff in the background and F up the streams. Anyway, so yes, you can do that. And you can do all of the same thing. And all you got to do is just hover the mouse over and it'll help. So, for instance, if I want to read this, I just press Command key. And it's huge. Huge. You can even double it up and make it big and press the Command key. Now it's extra huge. So, yes, it's built into iOS. And that's what's cool about Kindle. Yes, thank you, Rich. That was my problem before, because when we was out in the streets, right, what I would do is I would put stuff in Apple Notes real quick. And then stuff that I know I'm going to keep this, I would stick it in Evernote. And then I would scribble things on these little cardboards. Listen, fam, even if you scribble this paper and you can't legit read it, still just do this. If you do nothing else, take this guy like this. It doesn't have to auto-transcribe it. Just took a picture of it, right? Hit this guy and send it to yourself with the airdrop. Face ID, airdrop. And then here's a computer. So now you heard it. It just popped up over there. So now just go to Notion, right? I can leave this. I did it wrong. Why am I dumb? What I want to do. There it is. Okay, so you save yourself for Sunday, and on Sunday, you're going to transcribe these, right? So now all I'm going to do is go into my computer. I'm going to drag that note, and I'm going to just pip it right there. Right? So there's my note right there. I could transcribe it on Sunday. So on Sunday, when you do your review, you come to all of your stuff that you wrote for the week, you fix all these little typos, you organize your stuff, you polish off a fifth of JD while you're doing it. But what's going to happen, because all the way back to what started this conversation from Rich, how am I going to get active on these notes? So I got it. There will be days where you're so busy, you just want to clip. Clip as much as you can in audio. Clip yourself little tiny videos. Write in Otter. Write in Audio Pen. I don't want to pay for nothing. I want to be broke, Dick, Harry. Yo, voice memos. Transcribe the voice memo with ChatGPT. Transcribe the voice memo with Siri, whatever. Pop it in your little note. On Sunday, be like, listen, this is my hour. I'm gonna sit here. I got my little taste, as grandma say, got my little taste, and you're gonna sit down with your taste, and you're gonna knock this mess out. You're gonna revisit the last week, put things away, things that you no longer need, right? So if I come over here, I'm looking at this, okay, this is valuable information. I definitely want to continue with this video from Rich. So let me embiggen this. All right, so I can take this piece from Rich all the way down, scrubby scrub, stop to right here, and I can copy this, and then I can make a whole new note, and then be like, Code Concepts video, bam, paste it all in there. So now I have this. This is going to be a living document, right? And now everything about what I need to know about the code concepts, I have copied it into a document I can actually act upon, right? So now, check this out. I want to get this page link. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just going to copy the link. And then I can come over here to, I started building this yesterday. It's not completely built. But let's go to my inbox. So here's a task for my inbox. And I want to add a task, right? So it's going to be boom. So when I want to have this done by, I want to do it by the 1st, and then don't really have a project for this just yet. But the next thing is I want to start organizing this. Like, don't edit the formula. I don't really have a next due yet. I'll fix that later. Then there's a parent task. I don't really have one. There's a priority. So when I open this, all I need to do is click here and paste in that link. So I just put a link to the page. So when I'm ready to work on this, and I'm going to change this icon into a video. Let's go. Slap a little camera on there. When I'm ready to work on this, all I have to do is open this, click this, it'll take me to that note. That's what Notion does that Apple Notes doesn't do, but don't kill yourself over that. You just got to go manually find where you put the note. So when I'm ready to work on this particular note, I have a place for it. That's it. I mean, just doing this, collecting your stuff in a single spot in the new note management systems, Notion, Apple Notes, brain just went dumb. I think it's called Mem AI, Obsidian, Rome Research. I don't care, fam. Pick one. Just pick one and start to store your stuff in a manner the way that is set up. You know what I'm saying? Boom. In your iPad, you take your 2 fingers and you go like that. That's all you got to do. Same thing. Facts, Rich. Absolute facts. And Michelle, dead ass, if you show how to do this in Trello, please tag me on it. Send me the link to the video. Because I would just be curious of how to do it in Trello. So I can point people to this any way that works for them. I know this mess right here will save lives. When you look and you start to study pillow books or Zuihitsus or Commonplace Books, whatever, these memoirs that, writers used to write, they did it in pen and paper, fam. They did it in pen and paper. And when in a Bujo bullet journal, if I wanted to say all that stuff I wrote about Rich's video about how to understand what to do with these notes when you're done, I might have that and say, I wrote that down on this particular day. So that note would be here. By the time I'm reviewing it, I'm over here. You just say, see page 2. So what you did in paper is you went back, page 1, page 2, and then you got it. It's the same thing. So you could do it completely analog. You don't even need to see a computer for it. The advantage of a computer is it's just quicker to get to your stuff. You don't have to have it physically on hand. You can pull it out of your butt crack from your phone anywhere. And I think Shops mentioned way back up in the top, sometimes these good ideas come to you when you're smack dead in the toilet. Why? Because ain't nobody bothering you and asking you questions. And, like Shaka said, sometimes it come to you in the toilet. And I'm curious, like, Carlos, are we are we crazy that our best ideas come to us in the toilet? Why is that? I'm sure, if Carlos is still here, because Carlos is a mind reader. That's it, peeps. That is it. I wanted to give you an idea, and as I make my system better and I get better at this, I want to show you. So here's the challenge. Pick a system. I don't care what it is. Pick one. And for the next, I was going to be 7 days, but I realized I'm not going to be back yet. So for the next 10 days, right, because you actually had time to say the thing. Thank you for still being here, Shaka. For the next 10 days, I want you to do this, right? Whether you're doing just notes to self, doing it in your Apple Notes, I don't care. Michelle knows because she be at work in the bathroom making full-ass meetings with the fam while everybody else is, thinking she's having some lower bowel syndrome. She's just hanging out with us at work. Definitely get your capture system down. Again, my favorite captures are on the phone. Here, let me show you this real quick. This one has been gold for me. On the phone, there's a quick capture button right there. When I click that, it automatically pulls this up, and then I can just turn on the microphone. Remember to go into Notion and check out the concept video you started to take notes on, referring to Rich needing to find a more actionable way to handle all the notes and information we collect. Bam. It's in there. Just that simple. And you're ready, right? I have a humagonous button on my phone for Otter on the inside screen to do the exact same thing. I just hit it and you're recording a note. You're saying, hey, fam, I want to learn how to, get better at note taking and activating these notes. And I think one of the most important things would be, again, to generate a video that I can share with my fam that will help them see that they're not the only ones that collect a metric fuck ton of shit from the internet and don't do nothing about it. Same thing, right? Same thing. So again, copy and paste that into your note system so you can do it. And the free version of Otter will cover that, right? You guys all be like, oh my God, like you spend too much money. Yeah, because it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I have the paid version of Otter and the paid version of Audio Pen. Because Audio Pen came out after, and it's different from Otter. Otter is just like straight, take your notes, capture, don't touch nothing. Audio Pen will take your note and turn it into a more logical, kind of readable, human, digestible version, right? So as you see this note here, this is not what I said, but it's everything I said, right? Thank you, Paul. I do have that affiliate link for Otter, right? It says, I want to explore getting carbon steel frying pans. I have stainless steel frying pan, cast iron pans are ready, but I've learned the benefits of carbon steel skillets. Carbon steel is lighter than cast iron, holds the heat just as well. With proper care, it can become nonstick too. I plan to use it for cooking steaks, fish, and chicken. Watch America's Test Kitchen video on the topic and check YouTube for recommendations. Think about making content comparing carbon steel to cast iron, stainless steel pans. Also consider carbon steel might be healthier than Teflon coated nonstick pans like from stores like Walmart. Remember to ask Dina, that's not how you spell Dina, but I can fix that. Her advice, because she knows more on the subject. So it took my random ass rambling and it put it back in common sense English that is more actionable later, right? So I could take this and send it out as a tweet if I wanted to. I could share this on Facebook because it's actually basically how you would write a Facebook post. I could copy and paste this, throw this into Chat GPT and be like, Chat, throw me a couple of tweets that will cover this info. And it will. So now I can get information from Twitter. Like, we have all the information in the world. We have all the information in the world. We have all the information in the world, and yet people are still stupid. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm mean. I know. I don't know why. I don't understand it. There's no freaking reason for it. Yeah, there you go. Wrong one. There's no reason at this point in time for people to still be doo-doo, right? People will still ask Googleable questions. But you can Google it. Now you don't have to Google it. You can get a bot to help answer it for you. Like half of the stuff that people ask, like when you throw it, it's going to just give you the beginnings. It's already found the best information. They place it at the top. Like Google has added Bard. Bing has added ChatGPT. Firefox, I don't know what the frick Firefox is doing, but it's all out there, fam. There's no reason this day and time to be stuck on stupid. So mama said you can't fix stupid, but hey, I'm going to fix me because I don't want to be stupid. Y'all have no clue. Sounds strange, but I'm going to miss you melon farmers while I'm in Japan. I will be enjoying all myriad sorts of good food and chasing around a 76-year-old lady who walks 100 miles an hour. But if we got any in here, but you know, this is, dude, I'll tell you what, I will be offended if I have any flat earthers in my crew. I will happily show them to the door. Some of my support tickets reply is, I'll Google it and get back to you. That's funny, Victor. That is super funny. Neil, you over here hiding in the background, fam. You gotta announce yourself in the door. That's not very British of you. You need to, ladies and gentlemen, it's Neil. You know what I'm saying? You got to come in with the full fanfare, bro. You deserve an exact, what do they call it? Not a coronation. What do they call it when you trumpet fanfare to announce people? There's a name for it. My brain's dumb. Anyway, I Google it. I can look it up. Anyway, okay. So again, the key elements, the key takeaways, because Dina's not here to do the synopsis. I open a document every day. It's just there. I'm using Notion right now. I started this mess in Evernote. I did it in Day One for a little bit. I did it in Apple Notes for a little bit. Now I'm doing it in Notion. Open a document every day. When things come to your brain, drop them in the document. The things that you see on the web you want to revisit, put it back. Because how many times have you went to this place and 5 minutes later, forgot where the link was, right? Move it into the document, right? ODED, ODED. Open the document every day. The person that made me remember to make this video is I was hanging out with Micah Sargent, and Micah does this with text edit. Plain Jane, Holyfield text edit built into your Mac. But open the document every day as you're talking about things, pulling things from the web, whatever. And then what you do at the end of the day, review it. If you don't got that kind of steez, at the end of the week, review it. The things you want to keep, distill it, right? So I want to keep information on why, boom. At the least, drag these to your desktop. You guys know me. I don't like icons on my desktop. My joint is purty. I have not one icon on the desktop. My joint is purty. Can't stand it. It hurts my feelings. But June is correct. At least drag it to the desktop. I don't know if you guys remember this. Here, let me see if I can show you one real quick, because this is old school. I don't even know if it still works because I haven't done it for so long. Been so long. So check this out. I'm gonna go here and hit this, hit that, go back to this. In the old Mac OS, you could just grab it like this here, pick it. Oh, wait. Grab it, hold it for a second, pick it up, drop it to the desktop. Boom. Yes, you can still pull text clippings straight. So yes, you can drag links and you can drag text clippings and just stick them in the folder labeled with today's date. So yes, June is correct. And bye-bye, no icons on my damn desktop. Like, again, review it at the end of the day. If you can't review it at the end of the day, review it on Sunday, right? As Paul says, Sunday. Just stop. Just stop making your job hard. Trust you me, if you can finish this challenge, if you could do this for 10 days solid, you can make it a full-ass habit. We used to say if you do it for 21 days to make it a habit, it's actually more like 66, 67. But trust you me, if you do this, it will make your life simpler. And if you can't see, Glenda, take your phone, press this button, open up the camera, and just talk. And hide the videos in a secret folder on your phone. But you can do the same thing with video. Boom. Command Shift. I'm a king of Command Shift 4, and I've subbed my Command Shifts to go with Shotter. But yes, I'm telling you. Anyway, we'll get into some more stuff later. You guys, if you guys do this 10 days, when we come back and we revisit this, I want to know how you're doing. I want to know how you're keeping on. I want to know the process. Like, anything that I could add that I forgot to add to this, send it. Fam, I ain't afraid to be like I know everything. I am happy to learn some S from y'all. Send it to me. Send me what you got. There's, again, no reason. Yeah, I got a pee too. You're stupid. Anyway, fam, I'll see y'all when I get back from the motherland, as we say in the streets. And by the way, I think Paul said this the other day, sayonara is only if you never plan to see the person again. And most people don't know that. They think it's a bye. It's not goodbye. Sayonara means I ain't going to see you no more. So, sayonara, Paul, joking. I'm going to unfortunately see that fool in a couple weeks. It's mata, ato, de. Mata, once again, ato, later. De is just a particle. So, I'll see you again later. Mata, ato, de. Mata, daishu. Oh, yes. Turns, I'm going to be in Kansai side, so I can't visit you because you're in Kanto, correct? Anyway, if you got any recommendations, though, what I need to check it out. And I'll see you guys in the Discord. After party begins right now.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city